joy. Paul is not the only one crazy enough to say, could say that, hey, rejoice when it's going crazy. In James, he says, consider it pure joy when you encounter various tests. Know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. Endurance will have its again, same thing, will have its perfect work. So consider it pure joy. How many people have a problem doing this? You're having trouble also, and you don't tend to consider it pure joy. But it's not saying it is joy. It's saying consider it. You've got a choice. You've got a choice. You're surrounded by temptation. I'm going to rejoice. You're surrounded by everything going against you. I choose to consider it pure joy. It's your choice. When you do that, you're already passing the test. You're already moving forward in God. See, if it was natural to have joy, it wouldn't have to say consider it. Consider it. It's only a test. When it's a test, it means there's a purpose behind it. When there's a test, it means it's not the end of the world, because the test is just a test. If you go to the driving test, it's not like real driving. It's a driving test. I mean, it's driving, but it's not driving. When you're in the Army, there's a boot camp. That's a test. That's not the real war. When the television goes on, says it's emergency broadcasting, it's not a real test. I mean, it's a test, but it's not the real thing. So you're going through this for your own good. So it's not the end of the world, no matter what it is. Now, you might say it's a pretty good simulation. But it's saying otherwise, it's not the ultimate. You're not ultimately in trouble because of a test. You're not. It's a simulation. If you're in God's will, then you're not in trouble at all. When you're in the middle of a crisis, what can you say? What do you say? This is only a test. Soul, remember that? This is only a test. Had it been a real situation, the emergency system would go on. It's only a test. It's for my own good. People are out to destroy me. It's only a test. They can't touch me without God. The real story is God is using it for my good. Seems like everything's out of control. It is not out of control because God's in control. Now I want to look at one thing as we bring this home. Paul speaks of those who actually successfully pass the test. 2 Corinthians 8 verse 1 says this, now brethren, we want to let you know about the grace of God that's been given to the churches of Macedonia, that in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy and out of their deep poverty overflowed wealth of their giving. In other words, here they were in a deep trial, and yet in the middle of it, they kept rejoicing and rejoicing. And they kept giving. They didn't have much, but they kept giving and giving. They didn't let their test stop them. They didn't let their affliction stop them from being blessings and lights and joy in the valley. And God blessed them. That is that they passed the test. They determined, one of the things that went in the Lord, you got to determine, I'm not going to let my situation determine how I'm doing. I'm not going to let the outside affect the inside. The inside's going to affect the outside. See, that and a light, the outside doesn't affect the inside. A vacuum cleaner, it does. Some people are human vacuum cleaners. You are the light of the world. Therefore, the outside doesn't affect the inside. It's the inside that affects the outside. I'm going to overflow no matter what because that's who I am. I'm going to rejoice no matter what because that's who I am. I'm going to bless because that's who I am. I'm going to love because that's who I am.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA.